Which it must get tiring to just say every single day of every single live. There's always something going on in Pokemon, and today is no different. I feel like we're not given a break. Um, Real quick, I do want to say something. So I always like to get one of those "I told you so" moments. So it was pretty interesting. So on my last live, big shout out to Mick Nick. It was a lot of fun. We were talking a lot of Pokemon, but one of the big hot news articles was GameStop was accepting cards, and I went there in person because my state was one of the few states that was eligible for those cards. And the best thing happens. People said because I didn't show proof that it didn't happen. Like the people out there who say shit like that are just they're clinging for literally absolutely anything they could have. It was funny because at the time the only actual screenshot I had seen was the Noivern V. Accepted that. Everybody accepted it. The next one we saw was literally somebody's notes app on their cell phone showing the prices of like the Flareon V, the Jolteon V. They had a bunch of cards, but it was just literally a screenshot of their notes app. That one was accepted throughout the entire hobby with 100%. But I tell you that I went there and GameStop offered me $2.70 for the cash price on some of my cards. And the best part is some people didn't believe it. And I even said when I was there, this was one of the cards they offered me $9 for, which was a Uno, PSA 10 Charizard, a blue back. And when I was there, they noticed that in this corner, it said 25. And if you look at their article, technically 25 is not one of the cards they're supposed to accept, but they scanned it and it still came up with an in-store price of $9 and change. But obviously, I'm not going to take $9 and change for a PSA 10 Uno card, which I could sell this all day for $10 if I wanted. But it was great because people were like, because there's no proof. And then guess what? Old Leonhardt makes a video today, and guess what? Two of his cards he ended up sold for. $2.70. Unless I am not Nostradamus, unless I am fucking Pokenomics, not Nomics, Nomics. I had a little stroke right there. But unless I was able to somehow magically, just through the grace of we live in the Matrix and everything is repeating itself, and I was able to somehow out of the ether, pull out $2.70, which is just a magic number. And ironically, Leonhardt sold two cards for $2.70. So for the people out there that said I was making that up, which is the dumbest thing ever, I got a couple words for you. A pew, a pew, a pew, pew, pew. Suck it. Like, I love that when people just, why would I lie about that? Like, it was ridiculous. I told you that not every single card was offered at $2.70, but a lot of them were. And one of the reasons I went there to GameStop was I didn't bring higher end cards. I brought a couple like WotC, not higher end, just I guess mid range, like $100 cards, because I was curious what those would get, and they got what I consider to be around 25% of market value. But more importantly, I wanted to see the difference between like an 8 and a 9, because I was curious about the low end. And one of the cards I told you about was the Mew from Crown Zenith, the character rare card. Beautiful card, one of my favorite cards in the hobby, but I want to see the difference between the price of that card in an 8 or a 9, because when you get an 8 or a 9 at a card like that, that is a field grade in play. Son of a Mewtwo, appreciate the super chat. He said louder for the haters in the back. But that Mew from Crown Zenith, one of the reasons why that's an interesting card for me, because for me, that 8 or 9, that is a field grading play, because for a character rare card, really it's 10 or bust, and you can see how 10 sell versus 9s, and especially versus 8s. 8s, you're probably going to lose money. So I was very curious on what GameStop was offering for cards like that, because I was like, if they're going to offer even close to 85% market value of these, what can market value be? And I'll just literally dump everything to GameStop. Like, all my cards would have already been gone at this moment. But for that Mew in a PSA 9 and that Mew in a PSA 8 from Crown Zenith, they offered me $2.70 for each card. Again, when I say $2.70, that is the cash price. There is an in-store credit price, which is more, but there was no price difference. And that's what I went there for. I went there to see if I can move the junk. Like, And the reason why I wanted to see if I could move the junk was because I feel confident that I could sell cards that maybe people would consider to be a little bit on the higher end. And a lot of the cards we've seen prices, so alt arts and tens, stuff like that. I feel like I have no problem selling those on eBay. And the reason why is because they're super, super liquid. So that's why I went to GameStop. The fact that some people were like, oh, PK didn't show any proof. What do I have to gain for lying for that? So, for the people out there that were saying that, like, you really make me happy because I get my day in the sun because Leonhardt literally showed the proof. Now, Leonhardt also took $2.70 for 2 of his cards, which again was not a number that I just pulled out of thin air and magically just happened because I am just, I guess, a super, super lucky person, not just in this hobby, but a super, super lucky person in general, that I was magically, through the graces of luck, able to figure out what the lowest possible price GameStop was offering on cards. No, I went there in person. So I got my day. There was other cards too. Like, this was a card I had recently showed on, I want to say when Bierski, was it Bierski? I think it was when Bierski came on for one of my lives. We came on, I was like, Bierski, how much do you think I paid for this card? So this is the Arceus Dialga Palkia, the Rainbow Rare from Cosmic Eclipse, beautiful card in a PSA 9. I asked him, I was like, what do you think I paid for it? And I don't even remember what I paid for it, but it was pretty cheap. But I went there and I was just curious, like, well, what would they pay for a card like this in a PSA 9, a Chaser and Cosmic Eclipse? Cosmic Eclipse is a decent pricier set, and it was $12 for this card. So I'm not going to take $12 when you literally would pay $15 to grade this card. And to pull an alt-art Rainbow Rare Arceus Dialga Palkia from Cosmic Eclipse and you get a 9, it's not the end of the world. Like, that, trust me, the hobby doesn't stop for you at that moment. Son of a Mewtwo said plus 70 cents, yes. So, but no, it felt good. I got my day, so I didn't think I would be saying this on a live, but thank you, Leonhardt. You did me a huge favor and really got me a big fuck you moment to those people. So it was just a very weird thing where people thought I was lying. Like, I have nothing to gain from lying about what the lowest price GameStop is going to offer. And literally was the reason I went to GameStop, was to find out that answer. And I got the answer. So now, with that said, there are some alt-arts which GameStop is paying closer to that 80-85%. And for those cards, and we already knew this was potentially happening, where there is a chance that there will be some cards that GameStop offers money for, which will give you a higher percentage. And if they offered me 80 or 85% on all my cards, I would have done it. I would have brought every single card I had and just sold them all at once. But, even on the alt-arts between 80 and 85% for some of those cards, I think there's definitely plays to sell those cards to GameStop. But all the bulkier ones, the ones that I was just hoping to get rid of, because everybody out there is going to eventually have some field grading plays. And if you don't have any field grading plays, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. If you don't have any field grading plays, meaning you have 0 in the history of you grading, absolute 0, a whopping nada, then you're probably not taking enough chances. And maybe as you grow in this hobby, it's okay to take a couple chances and, send those borderline 9, 10s. And then, yes, once in a while you do get slapped with the 8, and it does suck, but it's going to be an eventuality, especially if you're grading in bulk and if you're grading in mass. Eventually, you will hit those lower grades. And the unfortunate reality is those are probably going to, 1, be break-evens for you, or number 2, you might lose a couple dollars on there. But as long as your 10s are way outpacing any of your losses, you are probably just doing fine. And that's a lot of just grading, especially grading in mass. It just becomes a numbers game. That's why when you'll hear people talk, like, high 10 rates can be 80%, 90%. Again, certain people said I was lying when I had 70 out of 70 10s, and then I had to show an actual screen recording of my 70 out of 70 PSA 10 submission, because again, people don't like to believe when I tell you the truth. So, but you know, a lot of like, and then your graded 10 rates is also going to be super subjected, right? And the reason why I say that is, well, what are you sending? Are you sending vintage WotC hollows? Well, if you're only sending vintage WotC hollows, well, chances are your PSA 10 rate is going to be way less than 80%. But if you're sending just super minty modern hollows and you weren't buying them just on TCG Player, if you were going in person, you were doing eBay with front and back listings, and you were really doing that ultimate due diligence of a buyer and really sourcing the highest quality gem mint looking cards, then there's a chance where your PSA like 10 rate is going to be much higher when you're talking ultra modern or Japanese. And there's all these crazy nuanced conversations that's going to be involved in what your actual gem mint 10 like rate is going to be, because there's probably a group of people out there, like I said, if you are strictly only sourcing WotC hollows and you have a gem mint rate of 20%, that might be a fantastic rate for you, depending on the set, depending on the card, you know. So there's big caveats to that conversation, but no, I thought that was interesting. And then, so another thing that happened. So, I guess I'm not really paying attention to the modern market enough, because the Shrouded Fable set came out and it was released today. As of the time of recording this video, you could actually go on PokemonCenter.com and do a pre-order of the Pokemon Center ETBs. Real quick, the Snowy with the super chat, he says, I'm happy Shining Fates exists, get the crap Pokemon gone. Or SF. What's SF? Snowy, I don't know what you mean by SF. Shining Fates exist? No. SF. Don't know. Snowy, let me know down in the chat what. I'm happy SF exists. But, yeah, so I guess I haven't been, like, super paying attention to modern sets, because I'm going to be honest with you, this Shrouded Fable set really kind of snuck up on me. And to tell you how... Shrouded Fable. Gotcha. Snowy said Shrouded Fable. That makes sense, seeing how literally the set I'm talking about was what that super chat was. So, Snowy, I am sorry. He said, I'm happy Shrouded Fable exists. Get the crap Pokemon gone. Yeah, so my initial reactions to this set, and I've been trying to be super positive about especially Scarlet and Violet sets. If you noticed, so recently I did a video talking about Temporal Forces. I think it was a real clickbaity type title. It was like, is Temporal Forces market being market manipulated? But what I did was something I don't ever do on this channel, is I went and I looked at the entire set list of Temporal Forces, and I was saying to everybody, I'm like, I really like Temporal Forces. Then Twilight Masquerade came out, and I did that again for Twilight Masquerade. Again, these are main expansions. Shrouded Fable is going to be just, you know, a specialty set, call it, or, you know, like, yeah, like I guess a specialty set. But when I'm looking at this set, I'm not excited. I was excited for Twilight Masquerade. I think Twilight Masquerade is slept on a little bit. I think Temporal Forces is a good set. Obviously, they're super modern. They're the most recent sets that are being released. So, obviously, prices are pretty low right now. But I think that they're solid sets. And I really thought that Scarlet and Violet was making a little bit of a turn. I did get one of the cards wrong. I thought, I forget what the name. It's like the Okie Doggy was, I thought it was going to be in the Twilight Masquerade set, but it ended up being in this. I am going to be honest with you. I'm not wild about this set. I think this is going to be one of the absolute stinker sets. And I will share it again because I think it's important, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So this is a Poke Beach article. So this was posted by Water Pokemon Master at 6:27 a.m. Pack arts. I don't know any of these Pokemon. I know. I think hopefully Opossum Bud is not watching this video right now. Because if Opossum Bud's watching this video right now, he's going to be real mad that I don't know the name of these Pokemon. I didn't play Scarlet and Violet. Sorry, Opossum, if you're out there. The set doesn't do it for me. I mean, I get it. Probably super playable. Over 95 cards, 3 A-Spec cards, obviously A-Spec. Super big into the meta. Only use 1 A-Spec per deck. I get that, but 5 Pokemon EX and 1 Terror Pokemon EX. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of chases. 15 illustration rare. I mean, I'm looking at the illustration rares. I am bullish on one product. I'll give you this much. Well, no, I think there will actually be. So for the, I think there'll be one Greninja like IR though in it, but I'm excited at least for one of the promos Greninja. So at least we should see some Greninjas in this set. So that will be pretty big for this set. And I know Greninja is a big fan favorite Pokemon, and I think this is a question. This is a good question. Can you get a real? I'm obviously again this card. This is the promo, but I'm talking about like secret rare of the set. Is it enough Greninja? Is it a strong enough character to carry the set? And I don't know if it is. Something tells me it's not. I mean, again, I really like this card. If I was going to right now, today, buy any product for this set, I'd be buying these collection boxes. I'd be breaking it down for the promo and then the packs and stuff. The ETBs, I don't know. I don't know if the ETBs do it for me. This is the promo. I mean, obviously, I love Pokemon Center stamps. I'm completely transparent with you. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. Probably will end up pre-ordering 4 by the end of this, or end of tonight, just to have them. But I'm not. I mean, this set, this is not doing it for me. Is this bad? Is this where I've now exposed myself as not a true Pokemon fan, everybody's going to say? I don't know. I really want to give Scarlet and Violet I really want to give Scarlet and Violet a chance. I know you guys don't want to hear this. I like this card. I think it's a mean-looking card. People said this wasn't even going to be the chase when I originally thought it was going to be Twilight Masquerade. I don't hate it. I mean, we're being spoiled with Pokemon artworks right now. This card, alright. I could fuck with this card a little bit. It looks like Crazy Monkey on a tree. I can handle this. This is probably my favorite card in this set. But everything else is just, I don't know. I want to be positive. I don't know. Chat, let me know. Do you hate me? I'm sorry. I really, really want to try. I really, really want to try the new sets. Maybe a reason why I'm not super positive on this set either is because there's a sad reality, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought we were getting that dragon set. I don't know where this came from. Yeah, people are saying, and I understand that it was a Night Wanderer set from Japan, but I don't know. This is real early on giving me hardcore Pokemon Go vibes. Is that bad to say? This is a spicy take. This ratio. This video is gonna get ratioed to all hell, but I don't know. I'm kind of just gonna, in a way, pass on this. I hope I'm wrong. And you guys don't believe that, but I do. I honestly, truthfully, I hope I am wrong on this set, because if I'm wrong on this set, then it just shows you the strength of this market. Am I going to sit here and tell you I'm not going to buy any of it? No. Am I going to sit here and tell you that I'm not going to open any of it? No. But is it my highlight of 2024 so far when it comes to the Pokemon TCG? It's not. I think this is going to be one of those sets where people, are excited about it at first. Everybody's always excited about the new sets at release. But I think as time goes on, this will be one of those sets that kind of just stays stagnant a little bit. And, I'm just looking around too. Now, we have some specialty sets that are creeping up in price. Crown Zenith, as we speak, is becoming scarcer and scarcer to find. It's, really running out at distribution. Few distributors are carrying Crown Zenith. We really start to see Crown Zenith prices start to tick up a little bit. But Crown Zenith, amazing set. amazing opening experience, especially for a specialty set. Then when you do, and that's still technically Sword and Shield, are we going to see a reprint of Crown Zenith? I'm banking on no, and I've talked about this on a video probably a few months ago. It was when Crown Zenith ETBs were selling right around like $32.50 a piece. You could pick up a sealed case of Crown Zenith ETBs for like $3.30 at the time, and I was like, I think now is your chance, because it was right after the reprint of Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith got reprinted a lot, and it was right after the very last or what I thought might be the last reprint of Crown Zenith, and we really saw cases selling for, pretty cheap, $3.30. I was like, if you guys are going to pick it up, I think now is your time. And even now, it's creeped up a little bit, but you could probably pick up cases still sub $500, which is still sub MSRP, but that's a problem now. Is I say, okay, Crown Zenith is still available right now for sub 50. 151, which is then going into the Scarlet and Violet. 151 is a little bit rarer. It is a little bit more money compared to Crown Zenith, but 151 may get a reprint. Not sure. I would speculate that it is, but I'm not willing to like die on that hill. 151 is another one of those products that if you're thinking to pick up some, maybe put it away in the future if you want to just see, is a reprint going to happen or not? I would say it's worth it to pick up maybe one case of 151 and just tuck it away. And when I say this, really I'm talking about the people that have put zero position into 151, or at least they don't have a position in 151 that they're happy with. And if the prices do go up in the future, they'll be kicking themselves. Like, you can't expect everything to get reprinted. But now, I just said Crown Zenith, amazing. 151, amazing. Shrouded Fable, not in love with it. If you like it, should have put a ring on it. I don't know if I want to put a ring on this one. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, good. Means that my finger is so far off the pulse, but I'm just, Shrouded Fates doesn't do it for me. So, real quick, I'm going to hop up to the top of the chat. So if you guys don't know, every Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live for my PK Weekly Live. It's now getting towards the middle of May, and so far for the year of 2024, I have made every single Thursday live, which, good job. And because Leonhardt showed that I wasn't lying about the $2.70 cards, pats on back. Real quick, Snowy C in the chat, Christopher, Aaron, son of a Mewtwo, Katie, good to see you, Katie. Katie said, I heard PK's Rant's going to straight up get his channel banned tonight. No. Oreo Cakesters, good to see you, bud. Let's see. Fat Belly Collect says he'd probably only want the cards for $2.69. Yeah, I think you're right, Fat Belly Collect. GameStop really lost their opportunity to make the lowest $2.69 instead of $2.70. Let's see. Pokey Hoarder said Leonhardt didn't believe you and had to go find out for himself. Now, Leonhardt's video was a little rough to watch. He took some really, really, like, ridiculously low prices. I mean, I guess because he's Leonhardt, maybe he does it for content, and he didn't want to just go in the GameStop and tell him what I did and say, no, and just decline every single price that GameStop offered. And the fact that Leonhardt did take $2.70 for two of his cards, wild. I mean, there was one, it was a Squirtle reverse hollow from Crystal Guardian. So if you don't know Crystal Guardians, first of all, beautiful Squirtle artwork's got like, it's like a real rainbowy type feel to it. But more importantly, like, one, I love that Squirtle from Crystal Guardians. But number two, especially being a reverse hollow, having that Crystal Guardian stamp, beautiful card. And he ended up selling it for like, I think it was like $20 for store credit, $18 for cash. He sold that Squirtle reverse hollow from Crystal Guardians for $18. Like, watching that, and I get it. Leonhardt did it for content, but man, a piece of me definitely died inside. And I don't know. All the prices they offered him, I would have told them kick rocks, but hey. So Trev, so real quick, oh yeah, before I get to Trev's comment, Brody Play says Pokemon Center Online is coming to Australia soon. Yeah, I saw that. So that'll be pretty wild. I am going to be interested if when it goes and Pokemon Center finally opens up in Australia. Well, I think it's going to help out for two reasons. One, it seems that a lot of the people buying sealed product in Australia, they're always having to pay like definitely a premium, especially to get newer products and import fees and all this. And yes, there are people that distribute cards out of Australia, but from what I understand, they're definitely paying a premium on all their products, and it's not as good as we have it in the States at all. But if you get a PokemonCenter.com coming to Australia, then hopefully you're going to get a more level playing field, and you're going to be able to pick it up literally right from Pokemon Center at whatever the Australian dollaroo price is. Shout out the Rattle Pokemon. I don't know what your Australian dollaroos equals out to, but I'm hopefully you're going to be able to pick up modern product at a substantial discount to what you're having to pay, because I know, again, Australia's not really a secondary market, but it kind of is a secondary market, so that would be really great. But another thing I'm looking forward to is promos. You know, one of the things we always see, like a great example being the Special Delivery Pikachu. Special Delivery Pikachu released in November of 2020. That was originally like a special promo because Canada Pokemon Center opened. So they released the Pikachu as like a celebration. Then when the UK had their Pokemon Center, we saw the Special Delivery Charizard. And even on the PSA slab, if you look at it, I think it says... yeah. So, if you ever look on your Special Delivery Charizard, it says Pokemon Center UK Holo, because the Special Delivery Charizard was a special promo for the UK Pokemon Center. So, Special Delivery Pikachu for Canada, Special Delivery Charizard for the UK. What do we get to see for Australia? Does Australia now give us another awesome Pokemon Center promo? Is it going to be another special delivery? Is it going to be a special delivery Kangaskhan? Think about it. What is Australia famous for? Kangaroos. What is Kangaskhan? A mama kangaroo. I'm thinking about it. You heard it here first. Mark it down. Write it down. Mental note it. Put it into your iPhone screen app. Type it out, screenshot it, then send it to Twitter, and then people believe that that is proof. But you heard it here first. Special delivery Kangaskhan for the Australian Pokemon Center. You heard it here first. Oh, God, I hope that comes true so I could say I told you so. Don't worry, only 115 people are watching this video right now, so only be 115 people out there be like, PK called it. Special delivery Kangaskhan for the Australia Pokemon Center opening. But anyways, Trev finally got down to your comment, and he goes, what happened to the dragon set? Trev, when I saw Shrouded Fable, I thought the exact same thing. I said, what happened to the dragon set? I thought I was in the know for Modern. I was wrong. Yeah, and then Snowy said, yeah, it's coming out in September. I found that out after, like, I saw this set out, because this set the Shrouded Fable comes out August 2nd, and then once it came out, I was like, wait, when does the dragon set come out? But yeah, Snowy is correct. It is scheduled to come out in September, which probably, when you think about it, honestly makes the most sense, because when you think about sets that had that September release, it's usually like the sets you're hoping to sell for that holiday season. But then, yeah, I mean, this one's August. Champion's Path was August. Celebrations was September, I believe. So, if you got a dragon set and you have the holiday season coming up, so say it comes out September, then you got November, and then right around the corners you got really November and December, all the buying season for Christmas time. So, you want your stronger of your two specialty sets to definitely be the set that releases before Christmas, because at that point, you know demand's going to be the highest. You want to put out what you would think would be your best performer. Now, could be a conversation of if Shrouded Fable is just going to be passed on, and then maybe because it gets slept on at release, maybe people want to flock to it after the fact. That's way too tinfoily speculative for me right now, but I could definitely see going into December, especially with how strong this market is, but hype and everything, having a specialty dragon fate or specialty dragon set. Oh yeah, hands down, great. I mean, we got to give Pokemon International credit where credit's due. Like, Pokemon knows what they're doing, especially they know what to sell. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that set looks, what the opening experience is like, especially being Dragon Pokemon. You know, the problem with like a Shrouded Fable is I just feel that the pack opening experience is not going to be fantastic. And what I mean by not going to be fantastic is if there's not like those the feeling that every time you open a pack you're, call it winning or whatever, you're pulling something good. Like, again, I don't want to rehash too much and go back, but like I mentioned with Crown Zenith, one of the reasons Crown Zenith for me is one of the best specialty sets ever produced by Pokemon is because it feels like every single pack has something special in it. And if you open up an ETB of Crown Zenith, you're almost guaranteed to get something great. Whether it's an awesome V-Star card, whether it's one of the, legendary gold cards, or was one of the, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, one of those cards. There's just so much going on in Crown Zenith. It just feels like there's so many different things you can get, so many hits. Even this card. I almost said special livery Pikachu. The Crown Zenith Pikachu. Secret Rare. This card is freaking awesome. This is the secret rare of the set. This is literally one of the cheapest cards in the set. And it feels great even when you pull, I mean, at release, you would think that this is a good card. But now, knowing what the market has done, how the market values this card, this is like almost, in a way, a failure when you open a pack. When your failure is a set like Crown Zenith and this card is like, call it a dud, how else do you compete? How else do you just scream from the rooftops how great a set is? So when I look at a card like this and this not being a chase really anymore, and I look at the artwork and I'm like, there's so much going on in this card with an Inteleon and a Crobat and a Zacian and the Ice Rider, and you got a Urshifu. Like, there's so much going on in that card at one time. And for that to, like, be a dud pull, Crown Zenith is a banger. I don't feel like Shrouded Fable is going to have that going for it. So, Son of a Merc for Shrouded Fable said, Zoroark on the tin is a good sign. Yeah, true. Chilling Out Vibe said, now we do this. Let's see, we got Basic Trainer in the chat. Basic said PK transitioning to MetaZoo confirmed. Yes. Let's see. So Josh said they're gonna hold off the banger sets towards the end of the era, like always. Maybe. I mean, technically, we're not really close to the end of the era yet. So we still got like a full year left of more sets to come. So Nicholas Cantalano. So Nicholas Cantalano said, Moon PK is pumping Sword and Shield again. Yes. Oh no! Jump to the bottom. Let's see. Man, really jumped to the bottom. Alright, sorry, I jumped to the bottom. I don't really know what's happening. So Johnny Bongo said, isn't that fucking Greninja EXIR in Shrouded illustration rare set we haven't seen yet? Yeah, so that will be there. So Johnny Bongo, oh, this is a good question, Johnny Bongo. He says, hey PK, have you bought any Japanese 151 yet? Any more One Piece? LOL. I haven't been buying One Piece, and I didn't buy any Japanese 151. I thought about it a lot. The problem is I really, really like stretched my wallet out pretty thin when it came to Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin, because I thought Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin was going to sell out of Pokemon Center like way faster than it did. Like, it, don't get me wrong, it sold out pretty fast. Make no mistake about it. But because it continued to be available on PokemonCenter.com, I would wake up, I would look at my phone, I'd go, Lost Origins. Lost Origins still in stock on Pokemon. Yeah, it's a random Wednesday. Oh, quantity order limit of 6. Do. Place order. There we go. That was a Tuesday morning. Then I wake up on a Wednesday morning, the day after, and I look and, ooh, Lost Origins still available on Pokemon Center, huh? Limit of 6 booster boxes. Well, let me add 6 to my cart and check out, and that would be a Wednesday. So, yeah, Johnny Bongo, that's a good question. So, unfortunately, Lost Origin, unfortunately, Brilliant Stars made the plans I had for Japanese 151 not really come true. Now, if PokemonCenter.com sold out of Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin way faster, and it would have helped me out a lot, then yes, I would have potentially had a bigger position in Japanese 151. Got back to Son of Mewtwo Super Chat. I got back to, I appreciate the 2 Super Chats, and then Snowy's Super Chat. Yeah, that's a good one. Son of a Mewtwo, he had a $1.99 Super Chat, and then he said plus 70 cents, yes. Let's see. So Son of a Merc says, so talking about GameStop, he says, depending on the card price you got it at, plus grading fees, then still being able to make a gain despite it being low market is a win. Yeah, it is a win. But if you graded a card yourself and you get an offer $2.70, it's impossible to be a win. Let's see. Let's see. So Wreck-It Roush, I like that name. Not Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Roush. She said, I finally got around to playing Scarlet and Violet, and it has really helped me enjoy Scarlet and Violet era more. I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. If I had time, I don't have time to play Scarlet and Violet. I wish I did. I don't have time to do anything. I have time to make lives, but I just don't have the time to do Scarlet and Violet because my day, I'm going to tell you how my day goes. My day goes, I wake up, my alarm goes off at like 5, it goes off at like 5. I snooze it till 5:15, and then I'm out of bed by like 5:25, 5:30. Out of the house by like 6. So then I instantly get undressed. I'm out of the house between 6 and 6:15. I work. I come home, spend time with the kids, have dinner. After dinner, play with the kids more, whatever. If I have to bathe them, we bathe the kids. We'll play cars, we'll play with the blocks, and then they go to bed. The youngest goes to bed at 7. The oldest goes to bed at 8. From 8 to 9, I'll spend a little time with the wife. If I have some orders I got to package, I'll package up some eBay orders from that day. When the and then days I'm doing live, 9:15 comes around, I press play. I start ranting out into the void. As soon as this live's over, I hit end stream. I go upstairs, take a shower, go to bed. Day starts over again. So I don't live this flashy life. So at all those things that I just said, there wasn't really much time to play Scarlet and Violet, unfortunately. Let's see. Son of a Mewtwo said it's going to. Basic keeps saying I'm transitioning the MetaZoo, but Son of a Mewtwo said that maybe this set will be another Lost Origin sleeper. I don't know. Mike said Pokemon and MetaZoo collab confirmed. Yes, I'm sure it is. I think I scrolled all the way up. Nicholas says, well, that's it for Crown Zenith. PK has spoken, and, well, it's going to go up. Yeah. That's usually how things work, I guess. The days of cheap Crown Zenith ETBs might be going the way of the dodo pretty quick. I'll be interested to see how Crown Zenith performs in, a couple timelines. So, a 2-year and a 5-year timeline. 5 years, I think Crown Zenith is going to be doing really well. But I'll be interested in that 2-year timeline. And the reason why I say that is because, unfortunately, as of recently, specialty sets haven't done that great. You can go back and look at them all. Celebrations, yeah, not doing that great. Pokemon Go, yeah, not doing that great. Shining Fates, not doing that great. Celebrations, doing okay, but not what a lot of people were hoping for. Champions Path, not. I mean, doing what is it? It's probably like $100 ETB to be honest with you. So probably the irony is Champions Path, which is probably the weakest of all the specialty sets, is probably doing the best of all the specialty sets. That really gives you some food for thought. I wonder if that's just because of the time it was released, middle of 2020. Kind of just right before everybody gets back in. I don't know. Obviously, you got the 2 Chase Charizards in Champions Path. You still got the ETB promo, the Sword and Shield 50, but I don't know. There's not really much else in good old Champions Path that's worth pulling. Fresh Tats. Oh boy, Fresh Tats just tried to break the internet with this comment. He said, "Special delivery Umbreon." Yep, that's it. If we get a special delivery Umbreon, game over. Oh, just game over. Hobby loves their special delivery cards. Especially the Hobby loves their Umbreons. Put the 2 and 2 together. Ooh, game over. But I don't think that's going to be. I think we see a special delivery Kangaskhan. Now, it will be interesting if it's the same as the rollouts as we've already seen. Like, when the Pokemon Center Canada was open, the special delivery Pikachu was available in the US. When the UK was open, the special delivery Charizard was available in the US. And I'm hoping it's going to be another one of those global things. I'm hoping it's not going to be some sort of, like, outlier where the special delivery card is only available from the Australian Pokemon Center. We haven't seen that happen yet, but I'm really hoping that that's not the case. Let's see. So Sleepy Esper says, "It's not the worst thing ever, but calling this a specialty set sounds awkward." I mean, but it's not a main expansion, though. It's our special English set, you know? So I don't know how else do you phrase it. I'm going to be honest with you. When I called it a specialty set, I didn't like the way it sounded either. But I don't know what else to call it. It's not a main expansion. There's no booster boxes for this set. It's, as unfortunately enough, it's to definition, this is a specialty set. I don't know what's special about this set. It just feels like this is Pokemon's way of, I don't know, just getting cards out there that maybe they feel, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Nicholas says, "People are negative about Scarlet and Violet. If you compare the early Sword and Shield sets, they win hands down." Exactly, Nicholas. I say that all the time. I wasn't a fan of Scarlet and Violet at the beginning, but Scarlet and Violet has definitely 100% grown on me big time. I told you, I mentioned it earlier in this video. I did when Temple Forces came out. Again, it was a clickbaity title. Are Temple Forces prices being market manipulated? But I went and I looked at the set list and I told you I really enjoyed Temple Forces as a set. I think it's a really, really stocked set. And then when Twilight Masquerade came out again, I did the same thing. Scarlet and Violet's really growing on me. And I'm super excited of how Scarlet and Violet is going to play out right now because still super low entry prices. And I never really thought that I mean, maybe some people are overly negative towards Scarlet and Violet, but when you break down the sets and you look at it, yeah, big chases. The problem is there was just too many what I would consider better buying opportunities for Sword and Shield. Brilliant Stars was still available. Crown Zenith was still available. Lost Origin was still available. You know, for a while, Fusion Strike was still available. Chill and Rain was still available. But then we eventually saw Chill and Rain sold out. Fusion Strike sold out. Lost Origin sold out. Brilliant Stars sold out. And now a lot of people are looking at Silver Tempest. People are looking at Battle Styles. the window for Sword and Shield is closing so quickly. And when that window closes, and by closes, I mean it's no longer available on PokemonCenter.com, we're going to see probably decent price increases for all these sets. And when I talk about the window of time, when that window of time closes, it doesn't mean people stop buying Pokemon cards. People are just going to look for the next opportunity, that next thing to put their money into. And Scarlet and Violet is going to be sitting there just like, it's going to be that real awkward meme where the guy's waving like, hey everyone, I've been here. I'm ready for you to come here. And then when that happens, oh, people are just going to pile into Scarlet and Violet. And then you're going to see the sets that are the good ones are going to really perform super well. You know, Paldea Fates, or sorry, Paldea Evolved. I said Paldea Evolved, or Paldea Fates. Paldea Evolved, Paldea Fates. Which one is it? Paldea Evolved. Paldea Fates is the specialty sets. Oh my god, there's too many sets. I know all the sets. But Paldea Evolved, when I was talking, the big shout out to Dan Catchmall Collectibles when we were hanging out in person when we were at Nick Old School Pokemon's house, the one set that Dan was actively acquiring was Paldea Evolved. And the reason why was because Dan said it in the most simple way possible. He said, I could buy every single Scarlet and Violet set currently from distribution. He said, the only set that I'm not able to acquire right now is Paldea Evolved. So that's what he was trying to pick up decent positions in. And Dan being Dan picked up his positions really quick. But it got me thinking, it's like, okay, this is the one set that is not available at distribution. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out because there will be only one thing that will take to cripple that, which will be a decent size reprint, and which unfortunately, because there's only one set no longer available from distribution, it means that that's probably the set with the most likely chance of getting a reprint. But at the same time, we're moving farther and farther away from Paldea Evolved every single set. So as every set gets released, the chances of that reprint becomes less and less likely. So if it does get a reprint, it's really going to hurt like the longevity and the future growth, especially in the very near term. Near term could be a few years, 1 to 2 years. But if it doesn't get a reprint, Paldea Evolved will be a fascinating set to look at. And a lot of people are probably going to end up kicking themselves because they didn't acquire big positions. So for Paldea Evolved, I picked up 3 booster boxes. If you guys don't know, they're just personal collection items. I have one of every single booster box that I buy for myself. And then since my kids have been born, I bought them one of every single new release. So none of those boxes are like investment items. They're just collection items. 2 of them being for my kid, 1 of them being for me. So if Paldea Evolved does end up running away, and I'll tell you right now, like, I will be a little disappointed, especially because I knew, again, shout out to Dan Catchmall Collectibles, he saw the writing on the wall. Now, this is one of those things that's going to happen. If that set runs away, I'm going to have to say, maybe this will be one of those things where as I walk through the valley of the $795 booster box and I decide to buy Chillin' Rain, maybe I'll look back 5 years from now, 3 years from now and go, I dumped all my money in Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin, but I could have at the exact same time bought Paldea Evolved. Does that happen? Don't know. Don't think so, but it might. Probably won't, but it might. And then again, that will be one of those good stories. It's been like, I was buying Lost Origin. I was buying Brilliant Stars. I wasn't. Sorry. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Ooh, Basic Trainer's got the new special delivery Pokemon card. He's got the Mewtwo and Kim Kardashian collab card. Ooh, let's hope that never happens. Even though we've already seen like some crazy Pokemon collabs. We got the Pokemon, I mean, again, these are 1-of-1 cards. The Post Malone, the Katy Perry one, and whoever the third one is, they have their exclusive 1-of-1 Pokemon cards, which be very fascinating if those cards ever hit the market, because I mean, Post Malone, big TCG collector, obviously paid over $2 million for the Lord of Rings 1-of-1. I think it's very unlikely that Post Malone ever sells his Pokemon 1-of-1 card, which is literally a 1 in the world. But then, as for Katy Perry, as for the other guy, there's a chance we see those cards hit the market and them being 1-of-1s. It'll be interesting to see what those sell for. I love rare stuff. I love niche stuff. those cards are not going to be for me. And if people out there don't even know what I'm talking about, pause this video, do yourself a little YouTube search and just type in Post Malone Pokemon card or Katy Perry Pokemon card. It was part of like the Pokemon Day when Post Malone and Katy Perry, they did concerts for Pokemon. They were gifted these special 1-of-1 cards. Not for me. Don't care about them, but I mean, people in this hobby, they do love a rarity, and those cards being a 1-of-1, don't know. This isn't the video to start speculating on stuff like that. Not really something to speculate on, but so Sleepy Esper said, also remember the Dragon set is releasing in Japan first. It may also be mixed with another Japanese set before it comes out for the holidays. Yeah. Snowy said, Crown Zenith is my happy set. Yes. So, ooh, I like this comment. I agree with this comment too. This is a hot take, but I'm on board with you. Tundra said, Twilight Masquerade is greater than almost every... Oh, wait, I misread your comment. Okay, this is a really hot take. I don't agree with it. He said, Twilight Masquerade greater than almost every Sword and Shield set. I disagree with that statement, but I agree that it's better than almost all Scarlet and Violet sets. So, Twilight Masquerade, I will give you that it's better than up to Chill and Rain. So I'll give you Sword and Shield base, I'll give you Rebel Clash, I'll give you Darkness Ablaze, I'll give you Vivid Voltage, I'll even give you Battle Styles. Even though I like Battle Styles, I'll still give it to you. But Chill and Rain, Fusion Strike, after Chill and Rain, man, it just goes downhill. I don't see it. But Twilight Masquerade is good. But again, we're already finding ourselves to be nostalgic for, you know, Sword and Shield. So it is interesting when you think about that. Ooh. Interesting. I like this. Namp90 says, Kangaskhan with a Pichu could be a good throwback to the anime that showed that Ash's Pikachu, or Pikachu raised by a Kangaskhan when it was a Pichu. That's big brain and that is big brain. Yes. I mean, it wasn't really a throwback, but you do have that one Kangaskhan with Raichu card. What is it? Brilliant Start? Kangaskhan Raichu. What set was that? I mean, it's the Kangaskhan card that has the Raichu in the background. Wait, it's Unified Minds? Wow. That Kangaskhan is from Unified Minds. That can't be right. I guess it is. Huh. Yeah. So it's Unified Minds. 163 out of 236. There you go. Didn't think that. But yeah, I mean, we do have at least a Kangaskhan with a Raichu artwork that it does exist. Ooh. Love the hot takes. Hot takes are good today. So, Dark said, I don't care for Crown Zenith whatsoever. There's like one card I'd consider picking up from it. Ooh, I love that. That's a spicy take. I do not agree with that take, but I do love a good spicy take. Alright, I jumped to the bottom again, but I'm going to... Ooh, the chat. You guys are on fire tonight. Let's see. So John Joe thinks English 151 reprint is on its way right after the Japanese one. I think there's a good chance of that. I mean, this is the thing. There's been little reprints, but nothing I would really consider like a game changer reprint. But as for Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon has really not really reprinted much. I mean, there's been small reprints. Even though they're reprints, I'd consider more like restocks at distribution, but not things that I would really consider a true massive, like full-scale reprint. So because that hasn't happened for Scarlet and Violet, I think Pokemon is eventually going to reprint something. So Jade Rabbit said, late on this, was buying Firehouse subs. Are we talking the new set? Seems like a small set. Next Champion's Path? Maybe. I'm leaning towards it's not going to be a great set. Let's see. So John Doe said, Darth, you're the only downer I've seen on Crown Zenith. Yes, I do like that he has like a strong take on it. Evan Williams said, PK, are you taking advantage of the store credit promo tomorrow on TCG Player? I didn't see it. What, Evan, what's the percentage? Let me know. Tundra coming in hot again. Love it. Not all boomers are fake fans, but most fake fans are boomers. Love it. Let's see. PokeMage87, great comment. He goes, how many Girantinas are in those sealed Lost Origin cases, PK? All of them, right? It's the chase is always in the next pack. So when you're being a degen and you're ripping packs, just remember the chase, it's always in the next pack. PokeMage, I love that comment though. Ooh, let's see. So John Doe says, I hope people enjoy Scarlet and Violet, but I'm mostly passing. Most shops were selling. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a good one. So Justin D said, my local retail stores have so much Scarlet and Violet on the shelves, I don't know where they find room for Twilight Masquerade. That's never a good thing, too. I mean, we could, for some of the Scarlet and Violet stuff, unless demand starts to pick up, we're just going to go back to maybe 2017, 2018 timeline, then you're going to get to see Pokemon cards on clearance again. It's been a while since we've got to see clearance Pokemon. You know, we saw a couple sales of Pokemon Go for $2 a pack. Some people were pretty amazed by that, but, you know, it's possible that if supply continues to stay on the market and there's not the demand to pick it up, it's possible we see $2 packs for some sets again. Yeah. Kill said, PK, life with kids leaves 0% personal time, no from experience. If you want personal time, you sacrifice sleep. Yes. Sleep is a very, very valuable commodity. Mason Berry said, PK blowing up Dan's plays. Well, that's Dan's thing. Dan's a big transparent guy now, you know? He's got his dad into Pokemon. He's building investment palettes. You gotta love this hobby when you could put those two words together. Investments and palettes. God, you ever think about this? You ever just for the shits and giggles, do you ever just think about maybe removing yourself from this little group we're in, like the 100 plus people watching this live right now, and just say, can I use that phrase to somebody who's not in Pokemon? And just go up to them and be like, hey, I'm just curious about your investments because I would like to run my investment past you. And some old lady at the grocery store is like, first of all, like, why you bother me? But let's say she'll entertain your conversation. You go, I do investment pallets. She'll be like, wait, do what? Oh, I literally build pallets with Pokemon sealed product on it. And she'll be like, how much money worth of sealed Pokemon products? You're like, oh, like between $30,000 and $70,000. Just remove yourself out of it. So to say that in this group of people, to say you're making investment pallets, people don't look at you like you have three heads. Remove yourself out of this. Anybody else in the world would look at you like you had three heads. You're doing what? And especially the fact that you're able to talk your father into it. That's how you know. Either Pokemon to the moon or Pokemon to... So we're on one of two rockets. We're on the SpaceX rocket, and we're getting ready for our trip to Mars. We're already trying to think, like, can we terraform Mars? That's us in the Pokemon hobby. That's this group. We're thinking, can we terraform Mars right now? Then there's the other group, which, are we Wile E. Coyote right now? We just got an Acme rocket strapped to our back, and we're just headed straight into that cliff wall. Is that us? Are we the Acme rocket coyote, or are we the SpaceX rocket thinking about going to Mars and getting ready to terraform the planet? Which one are we? Because I don't know if you could have both of those. I think you could have one of them, but I don't know if you could have both. So it'll be interesting which one of those we are. Well, let's see. Let's see. Oh God, I can't. I know people are out there watching this, and you do not understand the pains of jumping to the bottom. I do not know. I've never been able to fix it. Why YouTube? Every time I scroll in the chat, it just jumps to the bottom, and you lose so much stuff. So if you have a comment for me, rewrite it. Let's see. Nicholas said it's not about the size of the set; it's how you use it. Yes, that's funny. Let's see. Pokemon. Wait, Tundra. Pokemon wearing masks. Do you know they've been doing that since Gen 1 with the Cubone line, right? Pokemon wearing masks. What? I don't understand the comment. Cardboard Kingdom said, PK, curious if you have opened any Lorcana. Do you have your do your kids have any connection to any of the Disney IPs? Nope. So right now my kid's not. He's about to turn 3. The youngest about to turn 1. I'm not really watching a lot of Disney. I mean, what is it? Moana? Yeah, it's Moana. We listen to the Moana songs on like YouTube all the time, but he's not really like. I don't know if he has the attention span for a movie, but I'm kind of happy he doesn't because I'm trying to keep him active, bringing him outside and stuff all the time. If you guys know, last year I built that swing set with my friends. It was like a 9-hour day with 4. Well, it was 4 total, but like me and 3 of my buddies. Oh, it was brutal. Let's see. So Tundra is ultra modern. I like it. That's good, man. Yeah, well, then all right, I thought he was going to have the hot take, but then he said Crown Zenith is better than most Sword and Shield sets, let's be honest. No, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. I was hoping for the spicy take. Yeah, people are saying Temple Forces is pretty goated. I like that comment. So, Brody Play says, PK, what does the remainder Scarlet and Violet sets need to do to compete with Sword and Shield? I thought more gold cards, detailed like Crown Zenith golds would be nice. Not just gold trainer cards with fish and rods, lol. Yeah, I mean, Scarlet and Violet, it's... How do they compete with the later Sword and Shield sets? I think it's just what Dan always says. Don't underestimate artists' ability to art. If Pokemon could ramp up their art game one more time, because we've seen Pokemon now do this, continuously like compound on the art game, and it's continuously getting better and better as the time goes on, and and Pokemon doesn't have to like go crazy at it too. Something as simple as introducing character rares like changes the pack opening experience and makes it more enjoyable. Yes, obviously we saw it with the subset from Cosmic Eclipse introduced those character rares, but from Brilliant Stars on, when they reintroduced them, that really has become this new staple. And then Pokemon's change around the rarities and stuff, and they got rid of the rainbow rares, which is great, but I mean, they're always introducing something different, right? So you can go, and even if you want to go all the way back to Black and White base introducing full art cards, and then all the way to where those have progressed today, from Black and White to today, the full art card, with the exception of them just recently introducing alt arts again, full art cards haven't changed that much, especially when you go back and from Black and White to XY, you look at full art cards, they're stagnant. And then yes, obviously in XY they introduce the megas and stuff like this, and it adds a new dimension to Pokemon. And then with Sun and Moon, they introduced, for those later sets, they introduced the tag team cards, which ended up being widely accepted and huge fan favorites. But then even before the tag team cards, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, introducing rainbow rares in Sun and Moon, but then you go from Sun and Moon, and then you have those big tag team chases, and then those alt arts, and then ending with Cosmic Eclipse, and then they sprinkled in those character rares until with Sword and Shield they kind of just kept, you know, rainbow rares, decent chases, but then introduced that VMAX, you know, element to it, and the VMAX was nice. It gave that Gigamax type artwork feel to it until eventually they knew they had to start moving away from, you know, the rainbow cards, which they did, and they moved into the alt arts, and then now we're kind of just right to where middle-ish of Sword and Shield was, where now we're going to wait for hopefully that something special. And what Scarlet and Violet can be is something special, and it's, again, don't underestimate artists' ability to art. And, you know, that will be the game changer if for the end of Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon's really able to introduce like that real big thing. The problem is I just don't know what it is yet. Do you want to like recycle stuff? I hope not. And what I mean by recycle is I've heard a lot of people talking about megas. Are they going to reintroduce megas? And while I think they can do it and they could add maybe a cool modern spin to it, I'm hoping not. And then I just mentioned like tag team cards for late Sun and Moon. Do we want tag team cards again? Tag team cards would sell, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll just see how end of Scarlet and Violet like plays out, man. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Son of a Merc says. Let's see. Yep. All right, sweet. Evan Williams, I appreciate you answering it. He says, so tomorrow, everyone, TCG player promo is 10% store credit. He was going to buy a bunch of Brilliant, but everyone relists their products today at $200. Ooh, is that happen? Brilliant has creeped up to the $200 mark. So 10% store credit. I mean, I haven't really been looking on TCG player to see if there are any deals, but 10%, that could be a big make or break for a lot of products, especially if you were already planning on buying something. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that, Evan Williams. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Appreciate you sharing that with the chat. Listen, everybody, as always, made it a little over an hour. Every Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do go live. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I do appreciate every single one of you. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video.